Hello, and welcome to the Subway High School All-Star Series show. I'm your host, Jason Libert, event manager with the Pensacola Sports Association, the managing organization of the All-Star Series. This will be the first of 3 shows highlighting some of the best senior athletes in Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. The Subway High School All-Star Series, presented by the Andrews Institute, is a unique event in which senior athletes are recognized and selected to play in an All-Star game at the end of their respective seasons in volleyball, football, soccer, basketball, baseball, and softball. In total, over 400 young men and women are given one more chance to play in front of their friends, families, teammates, and college recruiters. Entering its 9th season, the series has grown each year, adding additional sports, school support, and sponsors. An oversight committee comprised of PSA staff, coaches, athletic directors, school administrators, and community leaders meet several times a year to put in place the rules and regulations of the series. With any event of this size and scope, sponsor support is a must, and we are grateful to have some great support from Subway, the title sponsor, the Andrews Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the series, and Academy Sports and Outdoors, the fan contest sponsor. Other major sponsors include the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, Pensacola Sports Association Foundation, and David Bowen Sporting Goods, and the Tate High School Multimedia Academy. Without their help and dedication to the series, none of this would be possible. Coming up in today's show will be representatives from Subway and the Andrews Institute to talk about the series, what it is and how it got started. We'll also give a report on the All-Star Volleyball Game, which took place on November 20th. We'll wrap up the show with a preview of the football game coming up on December 14th. So stick around as we'll be right back to the Subway High School All-Star Series show right here on Cox. And welcome back to the Subway High School All-Star Series show here on Cox. I'm your host, Jason Libert. As I mentioned, with any event of this magnitude, sponsor support is a must. And with us today, we're going to talk with 2 of our major sponsors, Subway and the Andrews Institute, to talk about the event, how it got started, where it is now, and the growth of it along the way. So with me is Chad Gillen from the Andrews Institute and Tim Wheat from Subway. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
Glad to be here.
Chad, this is our 9th season for the All-Star Series. It will be the 9th for the football game, which we started in 2004. You were part of that initial conversation to get this series started. Talk about that process, who was involved, how it got started, whose idea was it, and you know, because where we've grown to now.
It was really 2 of our coaches' ideas. My father, Ronnie Gilliland, was at Escambia, and Jerry Pollard at Pine Forest. They were big rivals, you know, the last couple of years. Previous to that, they had both met in the playoffs, and a lot of their players were playing in all-star events around the country and, you know, down in Central and North Florida. And they just wanted to do something local. You know, we have a lot of talent that comes out of this area that, you know, one more chance for that talent to be seen, create an opportunity to try to get a little more spirit back into Northwest Florida at the time for football, and then, of course, now for all the sports, because there's a lot of, you know, great talent all levels here, girls and boys.
Yeah. In 2004 it started. It was just after Hurricane Ivan. So I think that had a little bit to do with it, well, just to get the area back going as well.
It was instrumental to get it going, and, you know, they came to us, you know, as a partner to try to get it going. We approached the PSA, who, you know, you guys with the expertise in running events locally and managing those and promoting them. It was just a good partnership to create there and you know, grow this game as best we can.
Now, just like the series, the Andrews Institute has grown in those 9 years as well. Yeah. You know, talk about that growth and then the series and then your involvement in other areas as well.
In 2004, we were a concept. The Andrews Institute we had committed to doing something with Dr. Andrews at the time, but the actual facilities were not finalized until 2007. In 2004, I believe we were still in the design phase and working on that. We did have 2 doctors start down here who had both trained under Andrews in that fall as well. So it was kind of a kickoff moment for us as well with the concept of the Andrews Institute with Baptist Healthcare.
So we started with football, then we added, we've since added volleyball, soccer, baseball, and softball. Then 3 years ago we added basketball. Over 400 athletes throughout those 5 events are recognized and have one more chance to play. So you know, a huge thanks goes out to you for your support and leadership, you know, along the way. which led us up to meeting you guys, Tim and Subway, and you coming on as a title sponsor, I believe, 4 years ago. So thank you for one. Talk about, I guess, since you've been involved, what you've seen, and then why you guys got involved in the event.
Well, I guess I remember the series starting for me was when my daughter played in volleyball. And we, at the time, I think Subway was donating sandwiches for the hospitality rooms and referees and such. And it just became, it was presented to us, to get involved in a bigger way. And it's just such a natural fit for us. The opportunity to be involved in high school sports with a healthy product, a healthy choice product, and a first-class organization like Andrews Institute, as well as run by Pensacola Sports Association and Ray Palmer and yourself and all the great work that y'all do. It was just an easy thing to present to our advertising board. We represent here in Pensacola. We have a board that meets that represents the owners from Mobile to Tallahassee. About 104 stores right now.
Wow. And
we get to decide what we do with some of our money locally. A lot of it goes nationally, but we get to decide what we do with some of it locally. And one of the easiest things in my job is presenting this every year to our board to re-up with you guys. It's just a slam dunk every year. Everybody wants to do it. We're thrilled to do it.
Well,
without being a part of it.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. I mean, so you've got a personal tie with your daughter, and then obviously a professional tie with Subway. Chad, talk about, why do you do it, I guess, personally and with Andrews?
Well, everything we do at Andrews Institute surrounding the injury prevention side, believe it or not, in youth sports and military readiness. That's kind of our mission on that campus, something we set out to do with Dr. Andrews when he decided to come down here. He wanted to do something special, unique, really give back to the community. A lot of people get hurt, and we'll always be there for that. That is our business, if you will. But to try to prevent those injuries, create opportunities for young people to have, lifelong goals that are realized because they're healthy enough to do it, is very important for us. That's why with Subway coming on, and their healthy initiatives with food options around the country. I mean, I was just telling Tim here, we drove through South Georgia this weekend, and there was Subway at every town. It was very refreshing to see, the options when you're trying to feed kids. But at the same time, just personally, I have an interest in high school sports.
Sure.
Growing up as a coach's son, that's what you do. It fed our family for years, and we're going to keep supporting that as much as possible going forward. So that's really locally. We have people come in here from all over the country to get treated, but it's the local athletes and what we get to put our hands on every day locally that we really makes us tick.
And so once you guys came on board, we had some other sponsors come on too. The football started with a banquet. They practiced all week. They had a banquet. They got a jersey. And then we had when we introduced other sports, we just had a game. So it wasn't uniform across the board. So I think that really kicked off when you guys came on board with Subway. Now every sport has usually a week practice. They get a banquet the night before where they get one of these jerseys. We bring in a top-notch speaker to speak to them, and then we have the game as well. So talk about that if you can. I know you've been to a couple of the banquets and the games. Talk about that entire event. It's just not one game. It's an entire event for the players.
Well, it's just a good thing to recognize these athletes. As they leave high school, they've accomplished a lot on the field, and most of them have also accomplished a lot in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And rather than just have a game with, without a lot of recognition, maybe not a lot of playing time, usually an all-star game, you get the opportunity to have a banquet to reward them, to say thank you. It's a tremendous sacrifice to be an athlete. I was, as Chad was, I was a coach's son. I grew up in the gym. I saw the dedication that it took to be a coach, to be an athlete, and I'm fortunate enough to play all the way through college in sports. So, I just love sports, but it's such a demand on you, especially when you leave high school, to keep those grades up, to keep your body in shape, and to the demands that your sport requires, and to do everything. So to recognize the athlete in a night, give them a banquet, a nice speaker, motivational speech. Mm-hmm. it's just expanded the, and made it something to be proud that you achieved.
Sure, sure. Talk about a memorable moment. I know mine came last year at the football game. We had, through Baptist, Life Flight, helicoptered in Santa Claus and Miss Claus, and then Trent Richardson, of all people. He came back. He played in the game several years ago, back before he went to Alabama, and now at Cleveland. But that was very cool. I mean, and then they brought out candy and beads and everything. Chad, talk about one of your memorable moments.
Well, I think, probably my most memorable moment wasn't actually a game. Every game's been very competitive, and we enjoy seeing that. We're got our fingers crossed that there's no injuries, obviously. But the first banquet, we had Dr. Andrews speak at it.
Great.
And he speaks all over the world, literally, and never gets nervous. But he was nervous for that banquet because his message this time was to young people, and trying to create an opportunity for them to see, maybe somebody who's successful, tell them why and what things were important to him that you don't always get to know,
Right.
And that was, he probably took more pressure on himself related to that. So I found it comical to see him nervous about something.
Talking to high schoolers.
Right. And, and the kids listened, we were wondering if that would be a good tie-in, the age range, but it was great, and so we always had fun.
Good. Well, there's been a lot of memories made. One other supporter I definitely want to mention is Academy Sports and Outdoors. They come on several years back, and they do a fan contest sponsor. I think we've got some footage of that we're going to show. But in between each of the games, we select people from the stands, fans, to come down and do an on-court, on-field promotion for them a chance to win up to $200 in an Academy gift card. So we're definitely appreciative of that. Here it is now. So again, with you guys, Academy, the Sheriff's Department from Escambia County, David Bowen Sporting Goods, we couldn't do this without you guys, and we definitely appreciate your support and look forward to continue to grow this. So thanks again for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're going to give a recap of the volleyball game. Stay tuned. Cox. Now we're moving to volleyball, the first game of the All-Star Series this year. The volleyball game took place on November 20th at the University of West Florida Fieldhouse. The East team won the game 4-1. Now here to talk about the game and what it was like is Courtney Deason from Catholic High School and Brooke White from Tate High School. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations to you both. Courtney, tell us about the game, what it was like that week, the weeks leading up to it, when you found out you're an All-Star. Just walk us through that, those emotions.
Well, the week that I found out that I was going to be on the All-Star team, I just was really looking forward to getting to practice and practicing with the girls, because it's always hard to be thrown into that kind of situation and not knowing anybody, and most of the people are rivals, so you have to go up against them, and now you're playing with them. So that actual week when we practiced, the first practice was hectic. We all got thrown in there, and he was like, okay, well, you're going to play this position, and you're going to play this position, and everyone was like, well, I want to play, and it was just so many girls on one team. But by the second practice, we were kind of more organized, and we were ready to go out there, and we kind of had set plans on who was going to play what and what teams were going to play certain games, and it was just way more organized, and everyone really clicked. It wasn't like there was headbutting or anything, as everybody really got along, which was great.
Perfect, and that's really the idea about the All-Star game, is to bring all these players from the different high schools who have been competing against each other for all these years, bring them to one team, one setting for a week, and a lot of friendships have been made that last way past that week. So, Brooke, talk about your experience on the West team.
It was fun, kind of crazy at first because nobody knew what they were doing, and we really had to get used to the new coach, and in a way it was kind of probably very hard for him to get to know us and throw us in the game like that, and we had to get used to each other. It's hard putting a team together like that in such a short time.
Now, I know club volleyball is big around this area. Did you ladies play club volleyball?
I have not.
No?
I did. I've played since I was 12.
Now, have you played with any of the players that you played on the All-Star team? Have you played with them in any competition before?
I played with the two girls from my school before, but I don't remember playing against anybody else.
Now, Courtney, you were named the MVP of the game, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you're able to take home a trophy similar to this here. Talk about the game, and were you just in a groove and feeling it, or was it just something that sort of happened?
Well, I really thought of it as it was my last high school game, and I kind of wanted to go out with a bang, and we were kind of the underdogs in the whole situation, and I just really wanted us to win at least one, just get the energy up. And So me and Brooke were actually on the same team during that fourth set that we actually got a chance to win. And just going into it, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start off serving strong. And so I started off serving, and we got on a run, which was awesome because they weren't serve receiving. And that just kind of, I feel like that got the energy up, and we started playing together as a team. We were like, we can actually win this one, you know? And I really feel like the energy was just on our side, and it just shows how like huge momentum is for the whole game of volleyball.
Now, we were at, I was at all the practices, and you talked about everybody coming together and not knowing someone. How do you prepare for that, or how do you, hey, nice to meet you, I've never played with you before, now let's go win a game? I mean, how do you, Brooke, how do you prepare for something like that?
There's really no preparing for it. You kind of have to tell yourself, you know, well, these are my rivals, but now we have to get together and we have to get the energy up. That was the hardest part, was getting the energy up, because we're all seniors, we're all older, we all know the game, so we had to kind of do what we know what to do. And it's hard because we were all leaders. So when you have leaders, you kind of have headbutting. You know, everybody wants to yell. You don't really have any babies to boss around.
Encouragement. Yelling encouragement.
Yeah.
So the night before the game, so you had practices leading up to it. The night before the game was the banquet. Coach Melissa Walter, the UWF coach, talk about that. I know you always have your banquets for your own high schools, but again, this is bringing all the different seniors together. Talk about that experience and then what you did at the banquet.
Well, I really like listening to Coach Walter talk. She's really inspiring and encouraging, and it was really fun getting everybody together for the banquet. It wasn't like any volleyball banquet with our teams. It was kind of different.
Coach Walters, excuse me. Coach Walters was awesome. Like, she had an awesome speech that she gave us, and she was very encouraging, and she told us about her experience, about how she went and played college ball, and just how everything helped her lead up. And I'm actually looking forward to, when I go to college and everything, I get to coach club ball, and so I'm really excited to get to do that and get to help lead younger kids into the whole situation that I'm in right now.
Perfect. Help give back to the players that helped you along the way as well. So you talk about college. What are your ladies' plans for next year?
I actually plan on signing this Friday to Brunei University, and I'm going to be setting there, which will be awesome.
Congratulations. Now, where is that?
That is in Gainesville, Georgia, about 45 minutes outside of Atlanta.
Perfect, perfect.
I'm going to University of West Florida and hopefully going to walk on to their volleyball team. Probably major in chemistry and just stay at home for a while.
Now, being your seniors, are you still have classes, or are you one of those seniors that have done and now are going to be taking another semester vacation?
I have a full schedule of classes.
Full schedule.
Yeah.
Are you taking college classes now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Perfect, perfect. Well, any other thoughts or comments about the All-Star game and kind of what you can say to future All-Stars maybe?
It was a really great experience, and I'm so thankful I was a part of it, and it was a fun time.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that put me on the team, and thank y'all for hosting it and all the sponsors and everything, and it turned out to be a really good time.
Well, perfect. Well, thanks so much. Good luck to you and your future careers in volleyball and academics. So we wish the best for you.